Good morning, all in YouTube land. I just thought I've been very busy just lately. One thing and another, driving lorries, sorting lorries out, loading lorries. We've had a heck of a lot of paperwork to do just lately. Because I go out on a lorry, I then have to catch up with paperwork. But I just thought I'd do a little bit of filming in the office while I do my paperwork in the morning. I've had problems with my GoPro, my Hero 5. That flaming thing's a pain in the butt. I don't like technology. I've got my German camera out and it's going okay at the moment. I've tried changing the chip in it, you know, the pin, SDI card or whatever it is. I tried swapping that for another one, and the sound is perfect. The soundtrack's perfect. Mind you, it has been going a bit garbled here and there. I don't know whether you noticed when I was doing some driving the other day. It was okay most of the time, but occasionally it go garbled. But what's happening is the picture is out of phase with the soundtrack, and it's like the soundtrack's a few seconds behind the picture. I've tried changing the shutter speed and everything. If I put the shutter speed at flat out at 240 on it, then it stays even. It stays even, the sound, but the picture's then flickering, so it's not nice to watch. So I'm going to have to take that back. So I'm using this one at the moment. But no, we're very busy at the moment, sorting new things out. I'll be able to say more at the end of the month. My wife says if I say anything silly at the minute, she'll kick me in the arse. So, and I can't run very fast, so she's liable to be able to do it. So I'm just staying still at the minute. But yeah, we're getting on with things. Revamping the old straw lorry that went over. We had a lorry roll over and it smashed the cab up. Well, I brought another cab for it now. I've had the chassis straightened, and I'm in the process of buying another trailer so we can put another straw lorry on. So I've got the cab's being picked up Wednesday stroke Thursday this week. So I've got a nice FH13 cab for it. It's a really clean cab, lovely. It's actually better than the old one. So that'll be an improvement at least. And there's a company here, PM Commercials. They've got a couple of they've got a couple of trailers in there, but there's only one that's suitable for us. And that's a 25-foot long one. You have to have certain length to get the bales on. And you've got to watch your length with combinations, because you can soon go over length. If your lorry body's a bit long and you have a long trailer, well, you know where you are, you'll be breaking the law. So this trailer would suit us right down to the ground. The length would be right and everything. So I'm after that. That's 10k. That's an 11-plate trailer. So yeah, that'd rebuild that combination. And we're running a step frame, as people have noticed. I've been looking at me channel. We're running Graham's wagon, which is an FH12, on a step frame, 45-foot step frame, carting bales up to Brigg, up that way, Lincolnshire. And he's actually carting into Snetterton today, so you might see him over there if you keep your eyes peeled on the A14, A11 corridor. I hear we're a bit famous again, our lorry. I think it was Graham's wagon. Might know, it was Saturday that petrol station went up at 5 Ways. Roundabout over at Mildenhall. Barton Mills, that's where I'm looking for. It seems our straw lorry went past it. It's a bit worrying really, because there was a tractor and trailer load of straw went up at Everton, and now this straw lorry went past that. And now we had a petrol station go up, and it seems we're on the news going past that as well. I don't know whether this lorry's got a liking to fire or not. I don't know, but yeah, it seems we're in the news again. So yeah, we're doing that, and we're doing a bit more for the power stations, and we're keeping out of mischief. I'm actually shifting the straw now at long last. the stacks have started to go down, so there was a bit of a issue there with Sutton, but we've sorted that issue out now. Very kind cooperation from Amanda. We live to fight another day, but we're working hard, and I must admit, Kevin's gone on holiday now. He's gone for 6 weeks in Australia and 2 weeks in Japan, eh? There's got to be something wrong here, I tell you. But he's gone for that holiday, and hopefully when he gets back, we'll have a lorry for him to drive. Jim, who's helping us out now, a chap named Jim, he's driving the lorry and drag, and he's doing all right. He's doing okay. So yeah, that's a plus. And in a minute, I'm chasing paperwork permits and doing a lot of office work, selling a few bits, buying a few bits, you know, which will all become apparent at the end of the month. I'll be able to say more then. I can't say too much at the minute. Yeah. So yeah, I ain't even actually had a chance to look at George's offerings. I've been that busy. I'm sure he's happy doing what he's doing. Graham's just leaving now. We'll give you a little look at him. I don't know how this will come out, but I can't see a lot. That's his step frame, that's the wagon you'll see about. He's actually got SF11 on there today. We've got a little issue with an ABS light on his, and we're doing our very best to keep up with everything, so I've kept that in the yard today. So that's Graham just popping off now to, he's on his way up to get a load from a Swaffham up that way, and so he's doing that today. Yeah, no, all's going well. It's all going in the right direction at the minute. I'm sure something's going to kick me in the teeth sooner or later, but at the moment it's going the right way. So yeah, what I'm doing at the minute, I'm just sorting out yesterday's work and just doing that. I had a weekend at Scrapby near Caistor-on-Sea. I had a weekend there this weekend. I went up Friday night and come back Sunday night, so I had 2 days there. As you can see, it was hot. It was bloody hot. I had to take my vest off. It was that hot, and we got a little chalet there that we had. The boys, my 2 boys and my wife, brought it as an investment. They had some money, which was premium bonds, which the mother-in-law had built up for them over the years, and they sat there. They weren't making a lot out of it, so they brought this chalet with it, like, you know, 2-bedroom chalet. Lovely little place, you know, and so we go over there. It's very, very quiet, you know. They're all middle-aged like me, so there's not too much noise going on over there. So I went there and had 2 days sun and relaxation, and I'll tell you what, Sunday was bloody hot. So poor old Johnny boy looks a bit red this morning, so it ain't so sore today. It's bloody sore yesterday. Felt like I've been dragged down the road by my 3180. Yeah, 3230. But she's had a bit of a hiccup, she has. She's chipped up for more power, and something went wrong with the chip. Sent the tractor doolally. It sat there starting itself up, shutting itself off, up and down. So we weren't quite sure what it was. So you know, we changed the fuel filters and gave it a service and done all that, and it was still doing it. And Steve was looking round it. It seems that the exhaust manifold's got a crack in it. The turbo induction pipe from the turbo to the intercooler, that's got a split in it. We thought it could be that, but like Steve says, it wouldn't make it run like that. So Steve was looking a little bit further, So he just unplugged the power chip, to be honest with you, to try it, and it's good as gold. It's good as gold. So we've actually pulled the power chip out at the moment, and it's working fine. So I'm, you know, a bit disappointed with that, because that extra bit of power is always handy. But to be honest with you, that now don't go on a baler, because we've got the 7270. So it don't need that massive amount of power, 300 horsepower. So we'll leave it as it is for now, because that'll be running a chaser this year. It might have to go on the BB 950. I don't know how things are going to work out yet this year. But we're still going forward, and we're getting on with the job. Only problem is, I ain't leaving me a lot of personal time, because Lucy, my wife, she stayed on at Scrappy till tonight. So there's only me and Shell in the office, which is giving a bit more work for us. Plus, considering what I'm up to as well, lorry-wise and business-wise, I'm you know, pretty busy. I'm loading 4 lorries a day, so that's quite a, well, that's 3 hours work on its own, above and beyond everything else. But it's first lorry went out at 5 o'clock, and that was Jim with the lorry and drag. He went out at just gone 5, and Graham's just left at 6:30. But I need to, yeah. So he's now on his way up to Swaffham, so he's going to load there and drop down to Snetterton with it. Yeah, it's all going well. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. A quick hello and a quick goodbye. I'll leave it on for a bit longer whilst I'm doing my work. I will just have a quick word with you whilst I'm doing what I've got to do. I think we've got about another 3 weeks carting to do. We cleaned all the cattle yards out and everything. Oh, try this one on for size, right? I've got ground up a Sutton, as you know, 310 acres. I've got a 70-acre bean field. Now, one end of that 70-acre bean field, I've had the ground tested, and she's really struggling up that end. So we've got beans in there this year, which is a nitrogen fixing plant. So basically, they grow, they put nodules in the ground which have got nitrogen in them, which is good for the next crop. Plus, we chop the bean straw back, because it's a minority fuel, so the power stations don't want it. And it does the ground no end of good. It really does help with the soil structure, and you can actually find it in the soil for a couple of years after growing beans. We did beans on Christmas field 2 years ago, and I'm still ploughing up out, and it's made that ground work so much easier on the heavy spots. And so I put about, I don't know, but it must be 1,400, 1,500 tonnes of muck up there to go on that field. I've actually got more to go up there, but I've put it in the corner. We've got 2 gateways to that field. One's off onto the main road, and it's lethal getting out of that gateway. I didn't want to have an accident in and out there with muck trailers, so I put it down the bottom corner. Innocently, you know, I put it there because I'm a countryman and I live in the country. I put that muck heap there. Now, I didn't think about the houses the other side of the road, but they're 200 yards away. They're a good 200 yards away from that muck heap. The nearest house is about, I don't know, about 100 yards away from it. But they're all complaining about the smell of the muck. You know, it's Sutton. It's in Sutton where it's the bloody countryside. You know, it's what us country people do. It's good, honest farmyard muck. It's cattle muck. It's from my stock pens. It's not green waste. It's not chicken muck. It's not pig muck. You know, in 10 days' time, you won't smell nothing, because it stops smelling after about 10 days. It just sits there and cooks away inside. You know, it won't smell after about 10 days. Now, I've had 3 people ring up and have a go at me about that muck heap. The local councillor, somebody from the county council, and I've had 2 people from the county council ring me up. Now, they're saying it's going to be smelly all summer, and you're going to have flies all over it. Now, 2 things. it won't smell, it stops smelling. When it was here in a heap and in the cattle pens, you can barely smell it. So it won't smell, it will stop smelling. And the other thing, the flies. You can't have all them horses that got round that village. They've got horses all round these bloody fields. They feed them over their back fences and they pet them. The worst thing for flies are horses. Bloody flies love horses. You know, they get all over horses. You see horses in the field with these fringes over their eyes to try and keep the flies off. You know, so don't go on at me about flies when your village is going to be full of flies because of the horses. So, you know, think about that. And so, you know, it's how we go on in the countryside. We put muck heaps to it. It's better than using all these chemicals and artificial fertilisers and muck. It really helps the ground a lot. And that's what that muck heap's there. It's not to aggravate you. I'm not doing it to aggravate you. I'm doing it because it's good for the countryside. It's good for the crops that we grow. And it's sort of growing a little bit more old-fashioned. And we're not putting quite so many chemicals and everything on for it. You know, everything's good about it. So, you know, I am sorry, but you'll just have to tolerate that pile of muck being there. It will not smell after about 8 or 10 days. It won't smell at all. You won't even know it's there. And the flies, well, if you go and get rid of your flies, you better get rid of those 24 horses that are all behind your houses and in between your houses, because you won't get rid of flies whilst you got them there. And to be quite honest with you, we have a lot of flies in the countryside. I don't really have quite so many in the... I should imagine what you have in the towns nowadays. You'll have a lot of flies in the towns as well. So, you know, I'm afraid that's one of the hazards you have with moving to the countryside. And I ain't doing it to be bloody minded. I'm doing it because the ground needs it. I need to farm my farm the best way I can. And one of the best ways is farmyard manure. And that is true farmyard manure. There's some bullshit in there if you want it, you know, if you want to put it that way. But the alternative is I reload that 1,500 tonne of muck, take it to the other side of the village, right through the middle of the village, and heap it the other side. And then in September, October, when I'm ready to spread it on the ground and I've cleared the beans and I'm ready to spread it, I run my muck spreaders through the middle of your village. At 12 tonne a time, 1,500 tonne, you work that out, through the middle of your village, through Sutton Ford, to spread that muck on that field. So which is the easier option? What I've done, or that option? They're the only two options I've got. You know, there's a crop of beans in there. I can't run that muck out into the middle of that field, down the bottom of that field, because you're going to destroy the crop. So that was the best compromise, that muck heap there on that road. The worst thing I could do is put it the other side of that village, where it wouldn't be a bother to you whilst it's in a heap. But when I start bringing that back through to spread on that field, you'll be up in arms again at me. So please bear in mind, if you come to the countryside, you've got to put up with the countryside ways, you know. Watching the cattle at the minute because they're calving. We had a nice bonny little calf yesterday. Nice to see. A bull calf. He's a big boy, he really is. She had him okay and everything. We cleaned them all out, as I said last week, so they're all on nice clean bedding. Plenty of room for the young ones to thrive and start growing. We've got a young bull in with our young stock. I've bred him from my brother. My brother needed a bull from outside his herd, so we don't crossbreed, you see. We don't like putting brothers and sisters together, so it's, you can only really keep a bull, if you're going to keep your own stock for breeding, you only really keep a bull for 3 years, maximum 3 years, and you have to change him, so you don't sort of interbreed.